My gosh, it was 10 years ago. We were looking at 20 years of shaping the future. Now we're at 30 years shaping the future. Patty, we talked then about the importance of this association. 10 years later, you're the chairman of the association. Why don't you tell us about the importance to you and your fellow members?
Oh, well, 10 years ago, we didn't know what we didn't know. There are a lot of things that have changed in our industry in the last 10 years. I am humble and proud to be the chair. Second woman to ever chair the ACA. We're celebrating our 30th anniversary, but we've got a lot of things still yet to do in this association. All of this money coming out of the feds, dumping into buckets and buckets of money, we've got to make sure they're not going to overbuild the small guys. We're the ones out there that are really serving in these rural areas. We've just got to make sure that money gets spent properly. And ACA has positioned itself over the last 30 years to be the voice, and we're going to make sure we continue to be the voice.
You're kind of a rare breed in many ways, but one of the ways you're a rare breed is you and your husband started the company from scratch, and so that brings a unique perspective, I'd imagine.
Well, it's personal with us. Yeah, we are first generation. You don't find very many of them around anymore because we were contractors before we were cable providers. We actually celebrated our 30th anniversary in December. Boycom was formed on the coattails of that 1992 Cable Act, which was, everybody thought was doom and gloom, that, the cable industry as we knew it in 1992 would cease to exist. Now, that's true, but we thought the phone industry would be the catalyst. And as we've learned, then coax was the king at that time. We learned it was the best conduit for that odd thing called the internet. And so now with fiber being the preeminent vehicle, we're still poised to be the best delivery agent for broadband.
Well, I've got a great picture of you, and if you'll let me publish it, of you actually doing your work in the boardroom we were just at.
Sure, you've got my permission. I was just trying to take care of some business.
But that's the reality, is you're actually worried about getting drops to your customers, right?
Absolutely. I had a veteran called and wanted broadband to his house. He's just built a new home. Actually lived in it for the last 2 years. He had satellite broadband, or not really broadband, he had satellite internet, and he had a contract. So he didn't want us digging up his sod to bring a fiber drop to his home. Suddenly he wants a fiber drop buried to his home. And I told him I'd do everything I could, and so I hired a contractor to go out there and, because we're about 3 weeks out with our guys burying drops. So I got a contractor to go out there and do it first thing next week. So taking care of business.
Well, and speaking of business, you guys are continuing to build out. I mean, you started from 0 to now well over 5,000, right?
Yes, we've got a little over 5,100 revenue generating units, of which 73% of those are broadband. The cable side of the house continues to go down. People are really enjoying over-the-top things so they can get on their broadband, the Netflixes of the world. And we're seeing that the bigger pipe is what everybody wants. They want more speed, they want more service, they want more reliability, they want more choice. And what better way to do that than over the top with broadband?
And one of the things that, you're very vocal when you come here to Washington, D.C. What one message would you have as a takeaway from this conference that you want to make sure that policymakers hear?
No overbuilding. Because we have seen in the past, when money comes out of D.C., there is no oversight, very little oversight or selective oversight. And our biggest mantra is this money gets ready to roll out, and it's going to take them a while to roll it out. It's a lot of money. I mean, $42 billion is a hell of a lot of money. We can watch them stay on the sidelines and dole it out on top of us, or we can fight. And we are poised to fight. We are poised to stand up. If they want to serve the unserved, then so be it. We'll be glad to come alongside the federal government and do that, because I call those but-for areas. But for a private-public partnership, they'll never be built. But don't come in there and dump my tax dollars on top of me to overbuild me where I'm already serving. That will be the mantra.
Yeah, it's a simple message. It's sure tough to do in practice, though, isn't it?
It's very tough to do because these lawmakers don't live in southeast Missouri. They don't live in rural South Dakota. They don't live in a lot of these areas where it's not profitable to build. There is no return on your investment. So in order to do that, it looks good for them. They can stand on the sidewalk with the giant check and hand it to the mayor or whatever, and then they walk away from it, you know. And then we had to deal with the fallout of all of this money and these tax dollars that are coming in on top of us. So we've watched it happen with RDOF. We've watched it happen with RUS. We've watched it happen with the ARPA money. And now the NTIA has got all this BEAD money coming out. And so we know what the program normally is. So ACA has positioned itself very firmly to be the watchdog and the voice for all of us little folks out there that are just really trying to serve the rural people who don't have service at all.
Excellent. Well, shaping for 30 years, it'll be interesting to see what happens the next 30 years.
Yes, it will. I'm hoping I'll be around to watch it from a wheelchair. But, you know, ACA's come a long way, but we've still got a lot of work to do.
Excellent. Patty, great job leading it.
So good to see you.
Likewise.
Good to see you.